is the Volkswagen Tayron, which is the 7-seater version of the Tiguan, which is technically the replacement of the Tiguan all-space, but this car is available with 5 seats as well. So what is exactly the difference between the Tiguan and the Tayron? Well, you tell me. Anyway, straight away, let's open the engine bay. The familiar 2-liter 4-cylinder engine known as the E8888 is here. You also get diesel engine option in Germany. We are in Germany right now. It's so beautiful. Gas struts, insulation right there, and the new VW design language wherein you get connected lights at the front. The VW logo seems to be eliminated. Yes, that's awesome. And you get IQ lights. In fact, dynamic swipe indicators there. Now, because this is the R line, it has got black finishing here on the bumper, making this car look very sporty. It looks amazing. And you have got these massive air curtains here for better breathing. There's a camera here, and ignore all these mosquitoes because Germany has the Autobahn, which means I can go really fast, which I have been doing here. Obviously, radar is placed somewhere here. Meanwhile, there's a camera there for lane keep assist, along with a rain sensor as well, because ADAS is mandatory here. Now they have got this wheel arch which is finished in gloss black, which obviously looks really very premium. The tire size is massive. I love the black colored alloy wheels. The tire size 255/40/20. That's massive. R badging here, camera right there. The length of this car is around 231 mm more when compared to the regular Tiguan. Okay, the Tiguan is regular only now because there is no all space, because this car has replaced the all space version of the Tiguan. Meanwhile, you obviously get darkened windows here, privacy glass, which is allowed in developed countries, not in India though. Now, because this is a 7-seater, in order to get to the third row, all you need to do is push the seat ahead like this. Let me put this up and we can get in. But these are jump seats, because of which it's not really suited for adults. It's for kids only. So yes, this is not really a proper 7-seater. Got some storage space here, a hook here, and that's about it. Now this seat obviously slides ahead and behind, so it's all the way ahead. Let me slide it behind. Yes, you can increase and decrease the legroom in the third row by sliding the seat if you want. Beautiful treatment here. Look at this Alcantara, look at this blue line. You also get a sun blind right here. Door pockets are beautifully lined, very premium indeed, and Harman Kardon speakers as well. This is very interesting because there's a pocket here, another pocket here, another pocket here. Good amount of knee room, leg room and foot room. Under thigh support is decent, and headroom is quite a lot for someone as tall as me. Height adjustable seat belts. It says airbag here. It has 6 airbags, probably even more. Handle here. There's a hook right there. Light placement here on the top. AC vents, AC controls, 2 USB-C charging sockets, but there's this hump right here, which means center passenger is not comfortable even though he has a headrest. Now, this is again very premium because you've got 2 cup holders right there. Yeah, center armrest is really nicely done. Light placement here on the top. A massive panoramic glass roof, but hard plastics here. Yeah, a lot of hard plastic, but soft material right there. And then I can move the headrest ahead and behind. That's cool. Let's get out. Okay, this is beautifully damped as well. Doors, they open wide enough and they also shut with a proper bang. It says IQ light here. Beautiful lights, dynamic swipe indicators. In fact, these lights have a welcome animation and the VW logo here is illuminated. This is the rear fog. Beautiful. The design is so damn freaking awesome. I love the design of newer VW cars. I also love the design of older VW cars actually. VW fanboy spotted. Again, black finishing here to reduce the visual bulk. Beautifully done. Here you get the exhaust, which is there on both the sides, because 2-liter engine, not a joke. But there's a camera here with a spray to clean it as well. However, I'm disappointed there is no power tailgate here. Now the boot is a bit messy because a lot of stuff is lying here, and below here obviously is the parcel shelf. Light placement here, 12-volt charging socket. If I pull this now, the seat folds there. Yeah, it doesn't really recline much as such. Okay, that's the maximum recline, but more recline would be nice. But then there are seats in the third row, the jump seats, which kind of hinder the reclinability. And below here you get the jack and the spare wheel, which is obviously smaller size. You get a proper laptop charger here because this car is all about practicality and functionality, and that is the warning triangle. Let's shut it. Rear wiper washer, high mounted stop lamp. What's ringing? Okay, some sound was coming. Shark fin antenna finished in gloss black. And I actually closed the boot without showing you the most revolutionary feature of this car. Can you see there? Okay, if you are under 18 years old, don't see what I'm going to do right now. because when I press this button, look what comes out from here. Yes, this is the towing hook. That's so freaking cool. So you can remove it or close it by simply pressing a button right there. There it goes in. I have to push it manually to hide it. Yeah, that's a bit weird. That doesn't happen completely electronically, but I love the design of this car. This is going to be priced around the Skoda Kodiaq, because this is like the VW equivalent of the Skoda Kodiaq, because the Kodiaq is a 7-seater and this is also a 7-seater. Beautiful design, beautiful lines, and the way the cuts and creases have been done, really aggressive. It looks bulky, it looks like an SUV. It's an all-wheel drive as well, so that's kind of awesome. No fog lamps here at the front. Lights are also quite nice. I like the dynamic swipe indicators. Now let's get inside. It says Volkswagen here, which kind of seems illuminated. That's funny. Under-thigh support is never an issue here. It says Ergo Active. Yes, that's the name of the seat. Memory function there, electric function as well, so you can move it, and door pockets are big at the front. The usual VW switchgear with illumination. Controls for adjusting the outside rear view mirrors. This illuminates, so ambient lighting has been given. Alcantara finish right there. Here are the controls for the adjustment of the lights, and straight away let's shut the indicators. Now this also illuminates with R written here. So yeah, ambient lighting comes there as well. Harman Kardon speakers, tweeters have been placed here. High visibility jacket. The glove box is filled with a lot of stuff right now. And this seat actually, okay, let me open the door. It moves ahead and behind. So look at it. It's actually moving ahead. That's very cool. Lot of storage space here. It's a very practical car with a 12-volt charging socket here. That's awesome. And this is the volume controller. It's a physical dial, electric parking brake, engine start button, and wireless charging pad here. It seems to have two of them. Two USB-C charging sockets as well. And the steering has got physical buttons. This is for cruise control. This is to browse through that screen. You have also got steering heating, says R right here. There's a heads-up display too, and that's a 10-inch screen. It's a fully digital screen, and you can browse through a lot of information, the usual things you would expect in a VW car. So I can change the display. There are multiple display modes as well. Very neatly done, very nice. But this is something which is there in the regular Tiguan as well, so there's nothing new. Okay, the Tiguan is now regular only because there's no all space as such. This is a 15-inch screen. It's a huge screen, and then you have got massage program as well. Yes, there are multiple massage options too. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely crazy. And then I can move the seat from here. Climate menu, again fully digital. Unnecessarily touch being overused here. I expected some buttons, but there are some switches here like volume control and all, which are like again touch based, so that's not very awesome here. And steering heat you can do from both the places if you want. Then you can come into driver assist. Obviously it's got ADAS, and you can come into parking sensors, front and rear parking sensor. Okay, it has got self park as well. I need to press this thing, the brakes, and I press start, and let's see what the car does. Yeah, it can actually turn and park itself. That's awesome. Let's just cancel it. Let's come into reverse, which is using this particular thing. You know the drill, you know, with obviously the Tiguan, and that is the rear parking camera, which has got adaptive guidelines as well. 360-degree view, you've got park assist, you've got trailer assist, you've got all of this, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, too much reliance on the touchscreen, even though VW is like, you know, we will offer physical buttons. I don't know why they have not done it in this particular car as well. And then obviously it has its own assistant, voice assistant known as IDA. It has got inbuilt navigation as well with a map view. So everything is very similar to the Tiguan basically. However, the big change here is that it is more practical because it's longer, slightly longer wheelbase, 2 extra seats. So practicality and flexibility is the name of the game here, but it weighs slightly more. Does it hamper performance? Let's find out by driving it on the German Autobahn. Before that, let me show you this massive panoramic roof. I am going to open it. Come on. Open as much as possible. Okay, seats are really very nice and comfortable. This opens quite a bit. The cabin is finished in black, so it's not the most airy as such, but this brings in a lot of airiness inside. And here you get a mirror along with a light. Does this extend? No, it does not extend. Surprise, surprise. Come on, slide back into your place. Look at this blue piping here. So the theme is blue here, which they have done really nicely, and it does look quite premium, and it's a VW at the end of the day, which means, is it better to drive than say a Kodiaq? Well, let's go. Okay, it's time to start driving. Already on the German Autobahn, which means we come into sport drive mode, which is the best mode by the way, and it's going to take some time because the touchscreen is something which obviously takes time, and I need navigation here, and off we go. This engine is absolutely effortless. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine which obviously powers a lot of VW group cars. This one produces 204 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque, but there's a higher state of tune as well, which is also there in the Kodiaq RS, which produces 265 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque, and you can see how effortlessly this engine pulls. Look at it go. We have already hit 200 kilometers per hour, but top speed comes in really quickly because the top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. At these speeds as well, this car stays glued to the road. Yes, there's a lot of wind noise, there's a lot of road noise which you can hear because of the way the pillars have been done, and we are almost touching top speed. I think I'm getting a tow from that BMW station wagon up front, and that is it. Because I remember when I drove the Kodiaq on the Nat tracks. Will we hit 220? Oh yes, we did hit 220 and 221. Yeah, we are going on and on and on, and oh my goodness, 230 kilometers per hour. And now it's time to lift because we are coming too close to that BMW. But driving in Germany is just something else. So this engine is absolutely phenomenal in terms of also drinking fuel, because at these speeds obviously it's going to guzzle a lot of fuel, but that's expected because the kind of thrust it gives is absolutely amazing. Now this is obviously all-wheel drive, which means it's decently capable because this is not really a hardcore off-roader, it's more of a soft roader in that sense, and high-speed stability is phenomenal. The handling is also quite amazing. In spite of the size and weight of this car, it handles like a charm, and the steering, it weighs up beautifully well at high speeds. The ride is obviously on the stiffer side, and that's the reason this car is so glued to the road at high speed, but what they have done is given it a stiff ride for better high-speed stability, which really doesn't work that well in India, because this one is running on 20-inch wheels. 20-inch wheels means that this car will just, okay, there the BMW respects us and moves out of the way. Thank you so much. 330e, I think he's getting out of charge, and off we go. Look at this 2-lane road, and I'm absolutely pelting it because the car eggs you to push it hard and fast. So this is practical, it's fast, and it just goes mind-blowing. The acceleration is amazing. I just wish that the top speed was much higher because oh no, there the party's over, because speed restriction kicks in, and that makes me realize that the brakes of this car are also very sharp, absolutely sure-footed. Stops right there in its track. Now since we are going to be driving at a little lower speed, let me quickly go through the screen and tell you that there is seat ventilation, because the buttons are a bit confusing now. I was not able to really figure that out. And when you come into modes, there are obviously multiple drive modes. So there is Eco, Comfort, Sport, Individual, Off-Road and Snow. And if you get dynamic chassis control, then you also get 15 different settings for adaptive dampers, going from the softest to the stiffest, so you can change that as well. There's something known as atmospheres, so you can change all this as well, which obviously changes the ambient lighting. It changes the cluster color as well. We are going to come into energetic because red is nice, and then the whole cluster only changes completely, but it's telling me to slow down even further. I don't know why there's a speed restriction on this road. This road is empty. There's absolutely nobody. I think there's some road works happening there. So let's pause for a bit and join back again once the road gets de-restricted. Okay, finally, I think we are getting back to normal speed limits, which actually made me realize that inside the screen there's something known as air console. Yes, air console games, and de-restriction has started, so off we go. Okay, it says please pay attention to the road, stop playing games in the car. And now, yeah, okay, don't tell me that now. Very effortless. 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, which is quick with shifts, and then I realized we have entered restriction all of a sudden, so I have to cut down my speed. Yeah, restriction kicks in as soon as Germany realizes that they need to do an exit. They're just going to put a speed limit there, spoiling all the fun. But then obviously 70% of Germany roads are de-restricted, which means you can go at full speed depending on the time of the day, because at night they put restriction on a de-restricted road as well. I'm actually so stupid. I just realized if I press this like this, I can decide which drive mode I want to be in. I don't have to go through the screen, and de-restriction starts right ahead. Engine is very smooth, super refined. You can't hear a thing inside this car. but as soon as you push it hard, the engine obviously becomes very, very, very vocal in a sportier way in the higher end of the rev range. Come on, Volkswagen van, what are you doing? Move out of the way. That is a Tayron, which is also known as the Sharan in some places. Yeah, very Indian name there. Yes, there's also a diesel, by the way. There's a 2-litre diesel, that 2-litre TDI, which makes 150 horsepower. Not much for such a heavy vehicle. And the torque output there is 360 Newton meters, which will obviously make it very efficient, having decent performance. But obviously, if you want performance, this is the engine to opt for. Not this, because this one is 204 horsepower. The 265 horsepower engine, which actually is having the Golf GTI output levels. Yeah, the Golf makes 265 horsepower, but the Golf makes 370 Newton meters of torque. This one makes 400 Newton meters of torque. See, I told you, these vans, they always come into the way. That was actually a Sharan. The earlier one was a Tayron. Look at the way the body control is just so damn freaking amazing, holding on to its line beautifully well. Such an amazing car to drive, but unfortunately nobody is really going to extract all that performance from this car, because most people are going to end up driving it sedately. The driver is going to drive the car, they're going to sit at the back, and obviously 20-inch wheels should not be brought to India, because that obviously affects the ride quality of the car with lower profile. Like the sidewall is obviously smaller there. Now there's a lot of traffic jam because vans decide that they should always be in the fast lane because buses are on the right lane. Anyways, let's downshift. Does it give me manual control of things? I'm in manual mode and 6000 RPM, 8 upshifts. Multiple views here as well. Look at that. It looks so damn cool. Look at the ADAS. It's showing me exactly what car is around. Does it show a van for that car? Come on. No, it shows a regular car. By the way, I forgot to tell you, there's another fourth engine, which is actually a 1.5-litre engine for the plug-in hybrid variant, which obviously has a big battery lying in the boot, because of which it can't be a 7-seater, it becomes a 5-seater. So technically it becomes the Tiguan, and that just defeats the whole purpose of having a Tiguan and a Tyron, right? Yeah, the name is a bit confusing for me. Both of which are actually having the same things everywhere. Only thing is, because this is a longer wheelbase, you'll have more space in the center, which is obviously very much appreciated. But again, another VW van blocking us. I don't know what's wrong with VW vans today. They just don't want this VW SUV to go fast, and it's a bit rude to flash or honk. So I'm just going to come closer and closer. Hopefully he realizes and sees a big fat VW front end with all flashing lights, the connected lights, and move out. But unfortunately, this is actually a two-way Autobahn. I need to go on a three-way one to actually really speed up. Let's downshift. Okay, there it moves. Come on. That's 200 kilometers per hour. And there's another VW car. We are not even in VW land. We are in BMW land right now, in Audi land. But VW sells so many cars here. They are bound to be in the fast lane at some point or the other. Okay, I think I'll just do the wiper test because of boredom. Very important to have good wipers in Germany, because when you drive at those speeds, the windscreen becomes dirty really soon. There we have another VW blocking us. And just when I thought we will hit the top speed again, because I think it can go beyond 230 kilometers per hour, it seemed to have the pace, but somehow I had to back off because of traffic. Come on, this is a nice road to try it. We are in manual mode. We are in sport mode. We have 39 kilometers to go on the Autobahn before obviously we enter the city and slow down. Into fifth now. Oh my goodness. So let's quickly talk about where this car will slot in when it comes to India, because they have the Tiguan R line already, which comes via the CBU route. This is going to come via the CKD route, which means it's going to be more attractively priced, but it's a slightly more expensive car when compared to the Tiguan, because it's a 7-seater, slightly longer, slightly bigger, slightly wider, slightly taller. So because of all those factors, it's definitely going to be slightly more expensive as well. But then the Kodiaq is already been assembled in India, so this one will also be assembled in India naturally, because of which, oh my goodness, a Swift. Yes, that's the second generation Swift. So and that's a 2-door, by the way. Because of which, pricing this car could be a bit of a challenge, because they will obviously want to price it over the Tiguan, because this is obviously a bigger car, but the Tiguan is going to be more expensive because CBU and this is CKD. So yes, a lot of confusion in the VW world, but I think Tiguan R-Line is just like a limited edition run till the time they are able to get the Tyron in India and locally assemble it, because assembly and localization will take some time obviously. So I expect around March 2026 is when this car is going to be launched in India. Don't expect a lot of volumes, because it sits in the Toyota Fortuner segment in terms of pricing, and the Fortuner obviously sells because of the way it looks and because of the kind of attitude it throws. Now, monocoque SUVs can't give you that attitude, but a body-on-frame one can, and unfortunately the whole world is moving towards monocoque because of easy to drive, more efficient, and obviously to please the environment as well. In India, the only Volkswagen to have ADAS is obviously the Tiguan, the R-Line, which was recently launched, and here we've got ADAS as well. Let's see what all features. Look at this, the amount of features, and finally we are on a 3-lane Autobahn right now. Hopefully we are able to hit top back again, although I've already done 230 kilometers per hour, so I'm happy about that. But let's see, again a VW van. This is the exact same place I did 297 kilometers per hour in the BMW M4. Because this is one of the few opportunities wherein the road widens before entering into the city, and then it obviously slows down dramatically. So the Kodiaq obviously came before, and the new generation Kodiaq, the second generation of the Kodiaq, and this is actually the second generation as well, because in China this car has been sold since 2018, but globally this is like the first generation. Come on! Meanwhile, I'll just show you multiple cluster views. So damn cool, but this one is the best. Speed restriction kicks in, so it's time to end this video. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye. 120, 180, 60, and then the driving fun is completely killed.